Hey guys, welcome to the Saber tourney. We're 2 minutes early, but we really might as well start. Um, Hopefully everybody's here. The turnout actually was good. I was a little concerned that it'd be a bit small, but we're at 14. I think that is a bit below, like one below the last one. So definitely a solid turnout, I would say. And as always with these Saber tourneys, you got Carlos. We have some new players like Rudy, AR. Got Pashko, who's back. I know Pashko's going to be late, so his match is coming up kind of soon. So I'll just keep that in mind. We'll go through this round. Did not forget about you, Pashko, so you're all good. We'll go through as many matches as we can before we get to yours. So Pekola, you might have to wait, unfortunately, but this tourney should go smoothly. Usually mine go quite smoothly. We might have some technical issues right at the beginning, but that's how it goes. It's tradition. Oh, I was muted in commentators chat. So I fixed that. You guys should be able to hear me in there too. Anyway, let's get started. Yeah, being able to talk makes things quicker for sure. So first we have Carlos against AR. Let's get started. AR, yeah, here we go. There's your link, guys. You have to wait, yeah, unfortunately. Not a fan of waiting either in these tournaments, but that's how it goes. Carlos is in. We're waiting on AR. The rule is you get 5 minutes, and if those have elapsed, you get disqualified. Of course, if you let me know in advance, that's not a problem. We'll accommodate you that way, but I won't start the 5 minutes right away, though. I'll give people a chance to just come in first. And Carlos, you're on the left, just so you're aware. AR, R568, you're on the right. Alright, I'm just gonna... Yeah, we'll wait 5 minutes, and if not, we'll move on and disqualify AR. Unless he tells me there's something up, then that won't be a problem. We'll just skip over it. Oh yes, Tau is ready to host Europeans. I forgot about that. So if you guys in the EU want an EU host, you can use Tau as your host if you want. But that's only for matches where there's two EU players. I don't want to force, say, a North American player to use a host that was not advertised. So, but yeah, for like Eve and Oak, absolutely, I'll let you guys go on to Tau's host. I don't know where AR is from, so AR, let me know if you can hear me, like where you're from, so we can work that out too. I did start the timer for AR, by the way. AR is not in yet. While we wait, we can chat and stuff, of course. Yeah, so both of them are happy with that, so we will use Tau's host for Oak and Eve. Hopefully it's not laggy on my end for the sake of the viewer experience, but I think the fighter's experience should be prioritized above all else. So that's my take anyway. I'll see if I can't message him or at least see if he's online. Alright, his name's Tony on Steam, okay. You are up, my friend. He is not online, but that doesn't necessarily mean anything. Some people are offline all the time. I do that too. I don't even mean to. It's just sort of a thing. Predictions and character usage. Yeah, that's an interesting thing to take a look at. Pekala, I think he'll use Samuel. I think Pashko he likes Laszlo or something. I think Oak is gonna use Laszlo. Eve will probably use Gideon or Barabash. Carlos, I'm not exactly sure. AR, I have no idea. Maestro will use Yazik or something, or Laszlo. Scoliosis will use Alexander. Zero Laszlo. You guys know what I like who I like using, so that won't change. Ezekiel will use Samuel. Roderick Gideon probably. He has used Samuel before as well. Rudy, I have no idea, and Tao probably Laszlo. Yeah, Yazik and Samuel will probably see some use, despite the fact that he's often called very average, and I call him Beta Barra because he's not. He's basically a weaker version of Barabash, but he does have reach though. He has that going for him. And yeah, that's a good point. The Sabres have a good variety of style, and I think that's why um, this format is so popular. It's because you have so many different characters to choose from. So there's still plenty of variety in how they will play. Yeah, yeah. I guess stamina management is a good point. I can see that. Especially with Barra's like really active moves, maybe like the sidestep from long guard with B. I could see that eating up some stamina for sure. Better neutral, maybe yeah, because of the reach. Oh, does he? Okay, he has higher HP. I could see that. I think I've noticed that he's a bit tanky. We're nearing the end of the timer here. We got 30 seconds, or just over 30 actually. AR has not shown up, so I'm gonna just check if he's in the audience. He's not in the audience. Sorry, Carlos. It looks like you're probably gonna be moving on without a fight. But this is how it goes. By the end of the first round, we should know who's here and who's not, so it'll go smoothly from there. It's good that we have a good turnout when this stuff happens too. Yeah, 5 seconds. Might as well move on, unless he like contacts me right away or something. Yeah, Carlos, you move on. And you get to fight Rudy at least. Rudy's not an easy opponent. And Oak is up against Eve, so that means we're going to use Tao's host. So you're up, Tao, if you can hear me. And I'll ping Oak and Eve. And I'll go ahead and join his host. Oh yeah, I don't even need to click the link. I can just, join his. That's fine. Oh yeah, I left Carlos in my parsec. That's funny. Let me know if there's echoing, by the way, because I know that's sometimes an issue with parsec. If I leave the sound on, that is. It looks okay. I just listened to a little bit of that, but let me know. Oh, Tao has no idea who he wants to pick, so that's gonna be interesting. I figure he's gonna keep it simple. He's gonna go with like Laszlo or Yazik or Barabash. Some of the classic characters he's more used to, I think. Hopefully there's not a problem. Basically just sit back and watch. Sounds good so far? Good, good. I know Parsec can repeat sounds sometimes. I think because people are in Discord, it kind of can mess with stuff, so. Oh, yes, the names. I will deal with that. Thank you. I don't have keyboard, so I should be able to do that just without messing anything up. I'm not touching my controller, so. One moment. Let me just. Yeah, Oak, you're on the left, if you didn't know. I think Oak needs keyboard, by the way, if you didn't give him that. Here we go. We're ready to go, guys, officially. No fantasy points. Okay, we're using the school map, so, yeah, there we go. Yeah, I was thinking the new Void map, but, it's just a little bit too small. Slightly choppy on my end, but it's fine. Let's go. If you guys are good to go, I don't care. It's not a big deal. I can still track what's happening. And Oak gets the first point. A lot of pressure on Eve, and then gets really precise cuts in there. But good thrust by Eve to tie it up. Ironically, those are some of Gideon's best tools, his stabs. I don't know if they're the best in this matchup, though. That's a little difficult to say. A bit of an exchange here. They're testing the waters. They aren't committing fully, actually, as I say that. Eve, with good spacing, gets a kill. Thrust by Eve, that was very good spacing, but a bit too far. I like what he's doing. He is a bit passive in a way, but he's also spacing himself perfectly to punish any mistakes that Oak makes. And Oak was getting some hits in there, but that stab, unfortunately, is rather unreliable. Especially against Gideon. It'll hit, it's just a matter of whether it'll kill or not. So Oak rushes in, Eve trying to sidestep, but he gets punished. And Eve looks a bit tired. Yeah, good stab. That's a good time to use it. Gideon is the best saber. That's a very bold statement. I don't know about that. Stronger than people think he is, though. I'll give him that. Oak tying it up. I kind of expected this. These two guys are quite good sabers, actually. So, and in fact, that's what they main, so quite evenly matched. Okay, so Oak throwing a bunch of swings out of measure. Should probably be careful of that. Eve is very good at punishing those. Nice stab from Eve. And let me just change the names right away. Nice thing is I can do that while they do their thing without interrupting anything, so that's good. And my stream is running well on the other host, so that's good to know for the future. Alright, so we got Laszlo against Gideon again. That's not surprising. Is there a problem? I think Oak's having an issue. Of course, I can't select for him, so it's up to Tao to figure out what's up. And Oak. Alright, there we go. Perfectly balanced. Yeah, the sabers are pretty balanced. The game in general is much more balanced than people give it credit for, I think. But, you know, obviously when the weapons are the same, the balance is going to be even more apparent. Yeah, I hope Oak's not having an issue there. Okay, he got in. Oh yeah, he needed keyboard earlier. That's what was up. Okay. But I wonder what's happening now. Oh, Tau has to restore defaults. I never have to do that, so that's interesting. But yeah, that's one way to troubleshoot. Okay, Laszlo, Gideon, looks like they're in. Back and forth there. They both have to be careful. Their guards aren't the greatest. Sometimes better than people expect. Yeah, it is a good fight so far. You've missed the first round, Koala. You haven't missed the whole thing, though. At this point, Eve has a win under his belt, but obviously, Oak is getting the better hand this time around. Yeah, that's true. A veteran can definitely make use of his moveset. Gideon's, that is. Laszlo will seem more simple and straightforward, I think, to most people. But, you know, the guard is still a bit difficult to navigate. And how this will work, of course, is we'll randomly decide who gets what side, or who gets to choose the side that is, if Oaken wins. Wow, crazy exchange. Oaken going for a punch, but it's a whiff. It doesn't matter, though. He keeps going. Okay, Oak with another. He needs one more. This is often what happens when you get two experienced players. One guy will dominate the first round, then there's an adjustment, and the other guy can dominate the second round. But it's not over. 5 flags, a comeback is very possible. Especially if the way Eve plays, I think he definitely has it in him. Okay, so Eve going with the blade behind the head that stands. That upward cut, I thought it would hit, but it didn't. Unfortunate for Eve, so please hold. I'm gonna roll the dice. I'm gonna have it on stream, of course. And the way it's gonna work is Oak wants an even number, for those who aren't familiar. Oak, you get to pick. Yeah, so this is why it's helpful to have people listening in the commentators chat. But it's all good if you're not to, I understand. Right, so you don't have to change names. Okay. Yeah, alright, thank you, man. You don't have to accommodate me, though. Just do what you feel like doing. But I guess right went well for you, so fair enough, right? Yeah, red tunic, burnt face would be nice. Obviously, the armor would be a little overpowered, so we don't want that, but... Obviously, you could disable it, but, I mean, it would just look wrong, right? So... Yeah, but the red tunic and stuff, I really want that. Good thrust by Eve. As his opponent backs up. Eve tries sidestepping, but Oak just goes for it with that, with moving forward in that Y cut. Just press Y. It's all about timing and distance. Laszlo's very good at those things. Aim for his openings, like the arm there. His arm is very exposed. Thrusting can be a good tactic as well. I mean, there's many ways. It depends on how the opponent's playing, too, but... If you watch how Eve was playing the first round, you'll see a way to do it. And some of these exchanges, too. They're pretty even, so it's amazing how the third round now, they're both roughly equal. So Eve has a lead, but it's only by 1 flag. Thrust attempt, it's a bit weird. Sometimes it goes past the head, but still kills you anyway. But that is a double. It is good that the thrust is powerful, though. I just think maybe some tweaking with that. Hitbox. Another double. Very easy to do in this matchup. Just press A, Eve. Let's see if Eve presses A. Good. Wow, Eve barely clutching it there with the double. That was a very beautiful series of attacks by Eve. And it's good that he kept going, because otherwise he would have been punished. It's one reason why following up your attacks can be good. Your opponent may not expect the next one. Or just may not properly defend it. And they're both moving back when they're in danger. Really good distance management. Retreat cut. It's actually quite powerful, so it forces a double. Yeah, that's good to hear that it's good on your guys' end and whatnot. The quality. I think you're referring to Vineyards. Yeah, Vineyards can be quite hit and miss. That could be as well. Sometimes the platform is what decides it. It helps that my connection is better probably as well, and that my computer is good, etc., etc. Oh my goodness, this is down to the last flag. I just looked down at the chat, and now it's down to the last flag. Whoever wins this wins the fight. Eve goes for a thrust, but he's too far. This is very, very stressful. Eve just goes for the upward cut, and unfortunately that's a double. Laszlo can cut down pretty quick. Yeah, there's new hurt animation for the arm. Ever since the axe guy was introduced. Yeah, Twitch can be iffy sometimes if your system's not optimized. Oh, goodness. Eve backed away and baited Oak in. That was very well done. Oak thought he had the distance down, but Eve was a bit too far. New head wounds? Yeah, I think so as well. It wasn't listed in the update, oddly enough, but I think... I might be wrong, actually, but it just didn't seem like it. So Eve takes it. Good game, guys. Yes, it's to accommodate the axe, exactly. Like the broken... It looks like a broken arm, almost, but it can also just be simulating a wounded arm in general. Alright, we got Pekla against Pashko. I'll just check if Pashko is here, and then we'll just move on. The gun. Qual said he needed the gun. That's a meme in the server if you guys aren't familiar. Koala is the coach of everyone, so he always knows the way you should have won, and he, with his wisdom, knows that Oak should have pulled out his gun. He should not have engaged him with the sword. Alright, Pekla. And I don't know if Pashko is actually... Okay, he does have the roll. Perfect. You are here. Awesome. Awesome. This is an NA versus EU match, so we're going to use my host. It's obviously one person has an advantage, unfortunately, but, there's no way around it. By default, we use the host that was advertised. That's the way we'll do it. And if it's EU versus EU, we'll use Tao's host. You'll use Splitter. Okay, so I don't need to give you keyboard. Perfect. And we'll wait for Pashko. Pashko is connecting. Perfect. Alright, let me deal with the names, because I almost forgot again. Been a bit since I've streamed. And Pekla, you are on the left. Alright, let's boot up the game. Didn't Oak win? What? That was Eve who was Gideon, right? No, they didn't switch sides again, if that's what the source of the confusion is. The names were accurate. Yeah, Eve won. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, Eve had one, and then Oak had one. And then they fought again, and so Eve won that round. It's best of 3. Anyway, let's get rid of the music. I know some people like it. Yeah, I'm positive, man. Alright, let's apply that. The music is kind of nice, but it can also kind of go over my voice a little bit and stuff, so... We're just gonna stick with the atmosphere of the maps. I don't think Pashko needs keyboards, so we'll just move forward. Let me know if you do, though. Okay, you're good, yeah. Pashko, who's he gonna use? He's gonna use Laszlo. Pekola is... Okay, he uses Samuel. Playing some mind games there. With his cursor, which I like. Yeah, good thing I was paying attention. There was some confusion there. I'm glad we cleared it up. It's all good, though. All good. It's good that you guys are you know, double checking nonetheless. Okay, so Pekola with a point. Eve plays a mean Samuel, does he? I could see that. Alright, Pekola, double. Pekola's got a point here, and he's, I think, managing his distance quite well. The danger of Laszlo is he can close in really quick, and that's definitely what Pashko wants to do. Samuel does have recovery, but he is still a bit slower. So ultimately, Laszlo will do better in the pocket. And there's another point for Pekola. You meant Pekola. Okay, no problem, man. That makes sense. I was like, huh? Okay, Pekola with another point. I think Pekola's more experienced, and obviously he plays Zera, and Samuel in many ways plays quite similar, so he's using a lot of those cancels in the retreat cuts, and that's definitely what you want to do, Samuel. Pashko tanks that cut and gets a kill. He's trying to find a way in. Might be a bit passive. He has to be a bit careful. Laszlo, unfortunately, has a rather exposed guard. Sleep deprived moment. Yeah, I know how that feels, man. No problem. How does Samuel compare to other Saber users? I think he's a bit hard to use in some ways, but he has fast recovery. He has a lot of reach. And some of his cuts are very safe, and his guard is good too. He has a lot of tools, I think. So I'd say he's pretty powerful. Probably A tier. High A tier, I would say. Anyway, so Pekola won that first one. We will switch sides now. Pekola is quite experienced with Samuel, so that experience has been showing. Pashko, he's been with us for a bit, but Pekola definitely is the more experienced of the two fighters. So, I remember Pashko left and then he came back, so, as I recall. But Pekola's definitely been on for longer. Okay, I think that was an Alexander. Let me know if you didn't mean to pick that. That was a little bit quick. Yeah, he's very resourceful. That's a good point. Okay, Alexander, he meant that. I think that is a good pick, so I wasn't criticizing the pick, but just wanted to make sure. Okay, so Alexander can be pretty good at closing the distance, and I know Pekola does not like fighting my Alexander, so there might be a little bit of PTSD going on here. And here we go, another hit to the head. Alexander has a heavy and long blade, so that will often mean he wins the trades, but in that case, the upward cut was a mistake. I mean Alexander. And the uppercut can be good, but it was not a good time to use it, I would say. Okay, so Pashko is really trying to make something happen here, and he provoked Pekkala into trying to stab him. Samuel's stab is a bit hit and miss. Pekkala trying to use those fast X cuts does not get a kill. Rushing in was a mistake, though. Samuel's guard is really good. Snap cut there by Pekkala. Trying to keep his distance is really what he wants to do. Because if Samuel can do that, he can definitely pick Alexander apart. It's by no means a done deal, even if Alexander can counter. Oh, that was dangerous, but Pekkala kept his distance, so that was well done. Yeah, often Samuel relies on those combos to ensure that he kills. Alexander, on the other hand, as we're seeing, he can hit once, and if it's a good hit, it can definitely do some damage. I got a ping, so I'll just check that out after this fight. False edge cut by Pekkala. That was a bit dangerous, but I think it might have connected actually if Pashko was a bit more careless. So this is down to the last flag. Good comeback here by Pashko in this round, but he's got to be careful. If he makes a mistake, yeah, he'll get punished just like that. Unfortunately, he got sidestepped and was maybe a bit too linear with the footwork. That's an easy mistake with Alex, but good effort by Pashko nonetheless. You nearly won that round. 2-0 for Pekkala. Maestro will fight Excoliosis next. Let me just make sure there's nothing. AR, you're here. Oh. Yeah, sorry, man. It's, you're disqualified, unfortunately, as per the rules. But yeah, I'll just let him know quickly. Okay, so Maestro against Excoliosis. Let's get this started. Yeah, it is sad, man. I'm sorry. If I waited until the round, if I said in the rules I waited until the round concluded, I'd still let you in, but yeah. The rules do not mention that, so. And as much as I'd like to make an exception, it's like, you know, if I don't make an exception for certain other people, then it looks unfair, right? Yeah, I don't think you mentioned you'd be late, right? You didn't message me or anything? Yeah, that's unfortunate. If you did, then that would be a completely different story. I know Maestro is here, so we should be good to go. That's the other thing. If you show up, I'm not going to be as strict with it, right? Because, you know, you're here. It's just that something came up, so obviously Maestro's here, so we're all good. The ping killed you? Oh, yeah, you're from EU, so that can be a problem. But it would have gone both ways if we used an EU host, so. Excoliosis is a well-known Alexander player at this point, a seasoned player. He has done well against me before. I tend to win in tournaments, but nonetheless, from our spars, he's definitely got a lot of potential. So, Maestro will have to play this smartly. He can't mess around. He uses Yazik, which is, I think, a good pick. Nothing wrong with that at all. Okay, so both fighters, I'd say, are testing the waters at this point. Excolios is going for the cut and thrust combo, but he doesn't cancel, which left him vulnerable. Oh, the feint. You really need to be careful with that. Maestro doing that snap cut I showed him, actually. I don't know if that was just because I showed him that funny video, or if he just saw an opportunity. It can be a good move against him in all seriousness. Maybe not a thing you should spam, though. Okay, so there's a double. Thought Maestro was playing that quite well. Lunge by Excoliosis. Needs to be a bit careful. Yeah. Depending on the foot forward, that step forward cut can have a little bit less reach than you might have expected. If the right foot is back and you step forward, it'll have more reach. See, that's why you gotta really pay attention to the footwork with Alexander. Maestro with a point, of course. Upward cuts, they're both, again, kind of testing the waters. Good cut by Excoliosis. Tries to follow it up. Unfortunately, that stab was a mistake. And Maestro capitalized. Piccolo thinks he has an easy strat for this. Interesting. Upward cut by Maestro, but it doesn't quite connect. And there's a feint by Excoliosis. I like seeing that he's doing these feints. It's a more dangerous move than it used to be, but I think Maestro is not being fooled by it. And nice upward cut. Back and forth. Maestro with another upward cut. He's figuring it out. And Excoliosis has yet to land a hit. Oh, trying to push. Gets in close. Alexander can be pretty good in the pocket, so that worked in Excoliosis' favor. It's a good thing he did the X cut, though. If he did the Y cut, it might not have. Then there's a cut to the leg by Maestro. Maestro needs to finish it off here. Has to be careful. Oh, he's tired. Nicely done by Maestro. And unfortunate for Excoliosis. He did get a point, though. But definitely a dominant performance. The experience is showing here. The difference in experience. He tried, but it didn't work, the tactic he was suggesting. But he figured something else out, so... You know. No problem, feint better, he says. It'd be funny if Maestro takes that advice and does worse as a result, but we'll see. Some upward cuts by Maestro, and it keeps Excoliosis at bay, but Excoliosis closes the distance. Once Alexander gets a hit on you, it's very dangerous because he can flow into the others really quickly. It's one of his strengths. Kind of like Laszlo, but a bit slower and more deliberate. And it's actually 1-1 at this point. So Excoliosis is doing good. Good snipe. He actually backed away a bit too. Maestro is moving in, and his arm was a bit exposed as a result. And I think he threw a thrust by mistake, and Maestro capitalized. It's not a very safe move. It's very quick, but honestly, it's very easy to punish if you know what you're doing. And then Maestro punishing that lunge. Excoliosis taking a lot of risks here, I think. Okay, that feint. Again, very risky against Yazid's reach. Could have been timed better. Because I think Maestro is set up to counter it. Okay, nice. Using the push, getting in close. Alexander's probably a bit better because of the slightly longer blade Yazid has. They're pretty similar in length, though. And Maestro taking advantage of the fact that Excoliosis was a little bit passive. And this is a fight we've been waiting for coming up, and that is me against Zero. One of us will be eliminated in this round, so definitely be a blast. Alright, Zero, let's get you in here. I'm gonna be quiet for this fight, as usual. I gotta focus after all. And I know he's here, so that's good. Definitely not a fight I would want to miss out on by any stretch. What if Eve's advice is don't listen to him? Hang on, let me just double check. Yeah, Zero is on the left. May the best man win. I'm sure it'll be quite a show. I think Zero is going to use Laszlo. But we'll see. I think Zero can use pretty much anybody at this point. Yazek, okay. He might have been practicing. He might have saw the match and got inspired. Who knows? Alright, gonna be quiet from now on. The pressure's on. Nicely done. Good try, Zero. You definitely didn't let me mess around that round, so I had to play very principled Alexander there. And not dance around too much. Look at that, I can't even spell my own name. Right, there we are. He sticks with Yazek. That is a good pick, to be fair. I just don't know if it's the best pick for him. But you never know with him. Damn, Zero using some advanced combos there, I would say. Oh, damn it. Mistimed. And 0 actually takes it. Wow. Good job. Let's roll the dice here, hopefully. I come out on top. That is 5. I will... I'll stick with the left. Let's make it easy on myself. From a streamer perspective, I mean. The side, I don't think, is gonna matter. Oh, Jesus. I should not have stayed there. Oh my goodness, good fight, man. Scary as hell with Yazek, actually. I take back anything I said about Yazek being a possibly bad pick. For 0, that is. You were doing amazing in those exchanges. I had to get that quick stab and change up the beat. Ah, yeah. So 0 was not very confident going in, it seems. Fair enough. I'm his menace, so to speak. So yeah, I'm glad you're enjoying it. Parsec will load, please. Sorry, not Parsec. Challenge. And then we got Ezekiel against Broderick after this. Yeah, I know. We both hit each other that time, and then... Okay, hang on. Let me just try that again. Ah, that's annoying. I guess while that's loading, I might as well change the names. Ezekiel on the left, and Roderick will be on the right. Oh, X down. Okay. Oh, yeah, 0.1, yeah. Alright, Ezekiel and Roderick, here's your link. Cinnamon Toast Crunch, yeah. I'm not really a fan of cereal in general. Not usually something I'll eat for breakfast, personally. Especially not, like, the brands like that are just sugar. And salt and stuff. Well, not really salt, sodium. Alright, they're both in. And Ezekiel, you are on the left. Oh, did I mess that up? I apologize if I did. Very possible. Yes, I did. Okay. Thank you for pointing that out. Yeah, alright, it's fixed, man. Yeah, I'm the same, Pekla. I don't eat cereals for breakfast. If I have breakfast, it'll usually be something big, like eggs and like bacon and stuff. But if I want something light, sometimes it'll be a pastry for a treat, or just yogurt, banana, smoothie, that type of thing. No, it's all good, Oak. I'd be doing the same if I were you. Oh, damn. Yeah, I still eat quite a bit. Coffee and moose sausage, eh? Yep, coffee every morning. Anyway, let's focus more on the fight here. Ezekiel got the first kill. Can't eat anything while biking. Yeah. Roderick moving forward, that often is a good idea of Gideon, but I think Samuel's recovery is on full display there. Yeah, like that's the thing with cereal. It's often rather bland, I find, but it's high in sugar. Yeah. Poutine with minced moose, that's actually something I would try. It'd be a bit gamey, I'm sure, but I would actually try that. So Roderick at the first point. That is the danger. Samuel has obviously the recovery and the guard, but damage-wise, I'd say Gideon has an advantage with certain attacks. And his thrusting game's probably a bit better, but it might not matter so much in this case because Gideon's vulnerable to those lunge thrusts that Samuel likes. Good job by Roderick with that stab, though. Roderick definitely has more experience, but Ezekiel has been attending plenty of events lately, so I don't think it's as big of a factor here. I think Ezekiel has it in him, but Roderick is coming back, and he needs one more point. Okay, there's a good... Oh, but Roderick got the double. There was a good hit by Ezekiel, though. Sam is so disruptive. Yeah. Okay, some dashing by Roderick. Almost gets hit in the leg, but that was, I think, a bit different, a bit dangerous by Ezekiel. Some hits. No kill, but that got some stamina damage. That's good for Ezekiel. Samuel is good at playing the long game. And Ezekiel, I think, is doing a very good job of that, trying to get stabs. Roderick is tired, and Ezekiel waits, but that long guard was risky. But he gets it in the end. I don't know if I would have long guarded to block those tired swings, but I see what he was going for. He wanted a stab. And that is sensible. He needs to faint more, he says. Yeah, Pecola says. Unfortunately, those attacks did not finish Roderick off, so Roderick gets the point. And the round. Alright, let's go. Roderick, and yeah, Roderick goes through Gideon again. And then Ezekiel sticks with his pick, which is sensible. It's a bit tough. Gideon has some HP, so Samuel just has to be sure to follow up anything he does. And to hit well. They can be a bad idea, but sometimes they hit hard. It really depends, it seems. Once you stab, you're kind of committed, so that's kind of the big danger. But Samuel does have fast recovery, which can be exploited too. Yeah, exactly. He can just eat them, and we're seeing that here. I see why Ezekiel's going for them. He's going for those openings, but yeah. It's less so the case if you're a stab-centric character like Marie, who can keep even more of a distance and stab. But if you're a one-trick pony, like Samuel, you can only pretty much throw one stab. I think there's another stab you can throw, but pretty much two, right? Then, you know, less of a problem. And Gideon can just eat them then and predict them too. If your thrust game is more varied, though, that's where Gideon can kind of struggle. Nonetheless, though, as we speak, Ezekiel is getting a lead in this round. Very good play. Roderick closing in with a kill. That is where Gideon's going to be at his strongest. Ezekiel needs to stay at a distance. So it's a good dynamic. Even Samuel's guard there, we saw there, the second hit struck at close range. So it's not a case where Ezekiel can just stand there and block. There's definitely a lot of moves that can get through. Yeah, I think he has found the distance, but I think Roderick is starting to come back now. But you are right, he's doing better this time. I imagine the chat's a bit delayed. But yeah, you're exactly right nonetheless. Alright. Roderick going for a downward cut. Unfortunate whiff. Ezekiel can't follow it up. He goes for a thrust. He's too far. He goes for another thrust, a third thrust, a fourth thrust. He's way too close for that. Yeah, you got to sidestep or something. Thankfully, Roderick was tired, and in general, the thrusts were interrupting the movement. Because Ezekiel's trying to play it really safe here. That's the way you should play it. Ezekiel was too far for that cut. Roderick needs to be a bit more careful. I get that he wants to close in, though. And again, we're seeing the case where the thrust somehow kills, even though it sort of grazed the back, but oh well. Upward cut. Gideon blocks it, but then all these snap cuts. Roderick backs away. He needed to back away. That was his only chance. Parries the stab, but you can follow it up with a snap cut. That's the nice thing about it. Backward cut by Ezekiel, but he ended up just forcing a double. Even round so far. All to play for. Alright, so Roderick moving forward a bit, but he's being careful. That could have been a bit dangerous. He was a bit too far. And I like what Ezekiel's doing. He's trying to get safe hits, although he did a combo there, which forced a double. I'd be careful about trying to force doubles against Gideon, because you might find Gideon will just tank your hit. There you go, snap cut to the head. That's where they can be deadly. A very good distance management by Ezekiel. I don't think Roderick expected it. And they're both being a little cautious, but they're testing the waters, seeing how their opponent moves. Upward cut, downward cut. Gideon's just fast enough to force a double, despite Ezekiel's counter. Okay, Roderick moving in, and that second crosscut saved him there. Ezekiel probably thought he had him. Very good job. Roderick's doing good at, like, forcing doubles at the last second. There's another double. The thrust was a good move, but it leaves you a bit open. Thrust by Ezekiel, too close, way too close. I think he had that issue a bit earlier, too. Okay, so Roderick looking to close the distance and secure the win. But Ezekiel gets it. Nicely done. Good sidestep with the A-cut. Okay, 6. That means, Ezekiel, you get to pick. Rudy's NA. Yeah, good to know. I should do that in competition talks. There you go. Yeah, he's listening. Yeah, for sure. It was really good fight. Right, okay, so you want to make it easy for me. I like it. You guys can probably just continue, actually. I didn't back out. I've probably backed out when I didn't need to at other points, but... Oh well, it's habit. So they both go with Samuel this time. Maybe Roderick is a bit worried about Gideon's guard and wants to do the mirror match, where it's more like a chess match. Roderick is familiar with Samuel, so I am actually not that surprised. Roderick doing a feint there, a bit out of range. They both went for a similar attack, but Ezekiel was able to defeat it first in an attack. Ezekiel rushing in, tries to catch him with the upward cut, but it was a bit too high, and then Roderick punished. Good punish by Roderick. I think Ezekiel is sometimes doing these big moves up close, and then they end up whiffing as a result. So he has to be a bit more careful with that. Yeah, Ezekiel's trying to catch him with some retreating cuts. He gets stabbed, though. He probably didn't expect that. It's a bit of a gamble on Roderick's part, but sometimes you need to take that gamble. Like I did against Zero. Honestly, I thought Zero was going to win for a moment, but I managed to just split second do that stab and commit to it, and then I won. Because I knew I couldn't just keep doing these exchanges with Zero, because it's just, you know. Thrust by Ezekiel. They're both learning that the thrust is actually a viable move in this matchup. So that's good to see. I can't say I'm that knowledgeable about Samuel Mirror, so I'm learning something new too. Roderick gets a point. He needs 2 more, but Ezekiel is not at all far behind. Goes for a thrust. Roderick with good distance management, but he gets hit in the arm. Ezekiel keeping up the pressure, and then they back off. Good stab by Ezekiel. Those stabs are working out well. Is a burger a sandwich? Yeah, I think it's a subset of a sandwich. And then there's a kill by Roderick. Okay, there's an exchange here. Ezekiel trying to keep up the pressure, but I think he was a bit too aggressive. A bit too panicky. And Roderick takes it. Good fight though, guys. You both did well. Overall, I would say. Just some little things by Ezekiel, I think, decided the match. But nonetheless, I get to fight Roderick, so that's exciting. And we're on to round 2. A nice even bracket at this point. Rudy against Carlos. Let's get you guys in. I got a ping. Alright, so Cool finally knows about the Axe tournament. Now it's just getting back to him there. Oh, Tao posted a link. I don't think he needed to. Let me just double check. Rudy is from North America. Okay. I figured he was, but not easy while coughing. Yeah, that can affect your. Oh, you're gonna try Tao's first. Okay, no problem. Yeah, ignore my link then. Yeah, I'll just join directly. Yeah, let me know how it is, guys. I got a link. I got a ping here. Okay. Yeah, so Rudy, you're on the left if you weren't aware. And Carlos, you're on the right. Carlos has been doing a good job so far. He's a bit out of his element. Sorry you missed it. No problem, man. No problem. I just knew you'd be interested in it, so I contacted you directly. So Rudy goes with Yazik. Carlos. I think Carlos is the one who didn't select. Yeah, Carlos has no control. Okay. Tao can't? Let's see if I can. I probably can't. Yeah, I can't. I can't do anything, guys. It's not my host. Oh, that's a fun bug when nobody can back out. Tao, try using your keyboard. Your keyboard should work. If you can hear me. It didn't work, okay. Yeah, just restart then, man. Okay, names should be sorted out. Yes, they are. It's only if they're both EU players, generally speaking. And I'm just letting them choose this time around. In this case, I think Carlos was having a problem or something, so we're making an exception. But yeah. But yeah, for the most part, it's only if you're both EU, just to ensure the fight is as smooth as possible. Because if one's from EU, one's from NA, then obviously one's gonna have an advantage regardless. So let's go, Carlos. Cool is rooting for Carlos, who went for Samuel, which is a sensible pick given his style, I think. Samuel probably needs to be careful. I like that bait that he was trying though. Well, yeah, excellent by Samuel. By Carlos. All right, upward cut by Carlos. Sorry, by Rudy. I'm confusing them now. So Rudy at this point has an advantage. Carlos testing the waters, trying to bait him in again, but that high guard, I think, was punished. Alright, I got it, Eve. So I'll just stay on the parsec then. And ping you guys after this. In a way that makes things easy, I just have to focus on the names. And making sure people are in. Yeah, it is a really fast upcut. I had to watch out for it a lot. I thought Zero was approaching it differently than the way he would usually fight too when he was using Yazuk. Maybe win this tourney so I can get fantasy points. Yeah, I'll do that, man. I think the matched weapons title is up for grabs, the second tier that is. But I will double check. I'm not gonna give it to myself if it's not legitimate, of course. It's up for grabs for me anyway, the tier 2. Alright. So Rudy won the first round. Very good job. We need to back out at this point. But I'm guessing there is a problem of some kind. Hang on. Okay, so there might be some prize money up for grabs for the Axe Tourney guys, for those listening. Cool just made an offer here. I'm gonna let him just do it himself. That's probably the best way to do it, I'm thinking. And yeah, I'll deal with the names, guys. Don't worry. I have no keyboard control, so. For me, it's not even that he's bland. It's just that he's a worse version of another character. His moves are fine. There's nothing like wrong with them beyond that. Oh, I was on the wrong Hellish Quart. Thankfully, we didn't miss anything. Good exchange. Thrust. And then a snap cut by Carlos, no kill. Then another thrust gets the kill. Yazuk might be a bit vulnerable to those. We learned that Samuel is, and the stance is quite similar. I like what Carlos is doing. He's shooting in and trying to get those snipes. Using his reach. Oh my goodness, there was 2 more hits. And forced a double at the last second. That was brutal. But Rudy got it. Forcing the double. But that A cut. You never know, guys. We've seen some new players surprise us, and I think Rudy has it in him to win. Given his performance so far. Yeah, nice. Sidestep A cut. I like how Rudy's moving back and forth. Gotta watch the thrust, though. Double head parry. I don't know what that is anyway. Yeah, Rudy is very good. Is it too late to join the Axe Tourney? No, it is not. You can join right now. It's only going to be too late 30 minutes before the start time, but obviously if you contact me, you know, it's fine. At that point, I'm not going to be strict about it, but yeah, try and join by 30 minutes before, so you can join now, because it's going to be on Sunday. Anyway, focusing on this fight here, very Very long exchange. Rudy is on the ropes, literally, and forces a double. That's good. Oh, like when they get hit in the head. Yeah, I see what you're saying. And there's a cut. 3-3. Carlos is adjusting, I would say, making for an even fight. The fact that after the adjustment, yeah, easy $100, man. You gotta consider that. That's a lot. Like that could be 5 good lunches, really good lunches. A bit more than that, actually, but. Between top 3, okay, that's fair. That's fair. It's up to you how you want to do it, man. I'm surprised we're doing that, but I'm all for giving winners and top contenders, whatever we decide, prize money. But yeah, Zero's involved. That's the only thing you guys gotta. Zero will really want that $100. He'll be, or not 100, whatever he gets. He'll be motivated. He'll be very motivated to win. So that is a very dangerous opponent to say the least. Yeah, some of them are. Some of them are for money, but most of them aren't. I know Venator likes to donate in particular, so be on the lookout for his HEMA tourneys. That's where he really likes to donate. We'll figure out breakdown later. Yeah, okay. Sounds good, cool. And Rudy wins. Rudy just took down a really experienced fighter. He should be very proud of that achievement. We got Tao against Maestro Cake after this. This will be a very classic matchup. And then I'll fight Roderick. And I fight whoever wins between Tao and Maestro Cake, so. We do have a bronze match too, so if you make it to the semifinals, remember, you still can play for 3rd place. Yeah. Yeah, we'll figure out how we break it down, but that's probably something like how we'll do it, Maestro. Okay, Eve is on the left. Eve and Pekala. Hang on, let me ping you guys if you weren't pinged already. Oh yes, they need a link there, Tao. I'll ping him. Hang on. Already writing off Roderick. Yeah, you bet. I'm gonna win, man. Tao, on the other hand, and you for that matter, I don't know. But we'll see. Roderick will probably surprise me. I just feel really confident about this particular one. I am very happy to be proven wrong, though. This is all for fun anyway, right? We're just playing for matched weapons titles. Can't fire coach. He wins. He quits. Yeah. Okay, so Eve going with Gideon and Samuel. These two characters have made a fair amount of appearances so far. Ironically, Barabash has not really made any. So see how this goes. Eve trying to apply some pressure there. Bit of an exchange. And then a push by Eve. Eve is not usually one to get pushes in, but that is a good tactic in Samuel. It is something Pekkala is a bit weak against at times, too. So it was a good strat. Pekkala of 2 hits. He didn't get a kill, though. You gotta be very careful. Eve backing off, trying to find a way in. It could be very tricky against Samuel. Okay, Eve's a bit tired. He has to be careful. And Pekkala is using the max range to his advantage. Again, the really quick snap cut. Very dangerous. Bit of cracked Samuel played by Pekkala, but he only hits the blade. He swings down against the blade. Pekkala has to change it up when that happens, otherwise you're not gonna go anywhere. Okay. Nice bait by Eve, hitting the wrist. And then a sidestep, Eve getting a flawless round against Pekkala, which I did not expect. I expected more of a fight, but that's just the first round. The second round can easily go the other way. In some ways, Gideon does really have an advantage because of that speed and that useful his utility up close. Yeah, very beautiful Gideon play. Eve might just take the tourney if he keeps playing like that. Alright, Eve getting a bit tired, but it's not a big problem. Just gotta watch his stamina when he throws those swings and dashes around. And Pekkala is really trying to... I think he has a similar idea. He wants to invite his opponent in and punish. They're both playing quite safe. Push by Eve, again a kill. Nice push. Oh, Pekkala just went for it. I think Eve expected to cancel. But Pekkala went straight for the slow but powerful A cut. And in fact, you can see him following it up there now. Quite dangerous, actually. Lunges in a little, testing the waters. Eve tries to get a push, but Samuel's recovery on the sidestep can be pretty devastating. If the push landed, he probably would have had it, though. Downward cut by Eve, and he's able to tank that incoming hit, no problem. It wasn't as powerful. That downward cut by Gideon is very, very powerful indeed. And I like those cancels Eve is doing, the feints. Pekkala has a similar idea. It looks like Pekkala was the one who got the hit, and Eve is unable to land that downward cut, which would have forced a double if it did land, I think. High guard by Pekkala, then low guard. He's using all of Samuel's tools, I would say. Except for the thrust. He's not putting a lot of faith in them, which is understandable. Eve also using a bunch of tools. Harassing him with those thrusts, trying to get some kind of attack going. Bit unusual to see Eve on the offensive like this, but he sees an opportunity. Alright, Pekla has to watch his stamina. He's doing a good job of countering, but I think Eve is trying to win through attrition. And there's a stab. Really like the way they're both playing in this round. Very intense. Alright, Pekla, really gotta be careful on the recovery of some of those attacks, actually. Tries to get a stab. Eve is waiting for an opportunity using distance. Pekla backs away, though. I think he has wised up to that plan. Eve going for a push, but he gets punished. He has to be careful. Pushes are very high risk, with Gideon especially, I think. His push seems a little iffy, compared to certain characters anyway. So Eve probably planning a thrust or something. Or he switches, you never know. Trying to close in. There you go. There's the thrust. He just didn't make it predictable. Ooh, a grapple. Koala says Pekla should grapple. I wonder if Pekla will take that risk. Oh, man, Eve got it. Big swing there. And Eve punished instantly. Good fight, though, guys. That was a much closer one for sure. That round. Tau against Maestro Cake. I think we'll use my host for that. Obviously, Tau would have an advantage if we use his, so it's kind of up to Maestro. Maestro took mercy on you? Okay. Alright, that was really nice of Maestro. We'll move on to my host after this. I believe Maestro's on the left. Let me double check. No, Tau is. Okay. Tau is on the left. Good luck to both of you. This will definitely be a banger. And I think after the second round, we'll just take a short break, and then we'll go to the semifinals and the finals, as well as the bronze match. So that'll be fun. Maestro's here, as far as I can tell. Should be good to go. Okay, Maestro contemplating. He goes with Barabash. Obviously, Tau didn't mean to pick Isabella. So that is not allowed. Unfortunately, long swords are not sabers. If Kubald adds a Swiss saber, you'd have a bit more of a claim to that, of course. But even then, we would consider a Swiss saber a long sword in that case. It would be cool if one is added, though. Kubald could have gone down that route, too, if he wanted to be slightly more historically plausible, but, you know, nothing wrong with long swords either. In fact, I was just reading a quote there that confirmed, like, long swords were around at the time, so. Anyway, Maestro Cake with 2. A katana? No. I'd class that more as a longsword, really, because they're used more like longswords, really. They're two-handed, and the techniques are very similar. Either way, katanas won't be added to the game, so at least not the European story, so. If Kubald does a DLC for Asia, he said he might, but at this point, katanas are out of the question. Two-handed saber. Anyway, Maestro with another kill. But like I said, if a DLC takes place in Asia at some point, you know, katanas will make an appearance for sure. But Not in 17th century Poland. Maestro just picking him apart. Alexander is European, actually. He was born in Poland, so he's a real person. That's a common mistake people make. They think he's foreign because of his sword and some of the clothes he wears, but in actual fact, he is as European as Yazek is because he was born there. He became a starosta, so he was like a lower noble type dude. A lord, so. I can agree that his sword is not European, though. It's definitely a North African weapon, but you know, those things were definitely traded in Europe. There is co-evolution, so. And it's possible Alex came from the Ottoman Empire too, actually, but I think most people think he was born in Europe, so. Definitely lived in Europe. But that's the other theory, is that he came as a result of the Ottoman Empire and was a slave, so. I think that's the storyline the game goes with, but. He could have been, yeah. We don't know for sure. Like, the real Alexander, I mean. I think in the game, he's supposed to be originally Ottoman. Anyway, I'm hardly focusing on the fight. Sorry about this, guys. Maestro again with a lead. Really interesting pick by Tao to go with Alexander. Probably inspired by maybe how well I've done with him. And some experimentation he's done in sparring. He is a good pick, for sure. Yeah, so there's two possible ways Alexander made it to Poland. But yeah, bit of an exchange here. Maestro with the upward cut, working really well. I don't think Tao knows about the canceling. Some of these are based on real people, to more or lesser degrees. Like Alexander Denise, for instance, was a real person. I think Yazek was also a real person. But Marie, for instance, is based on a French female fencer, and Isabella is based on a real Isabella from Naples who fought with medieval weapons in a duel. So, but that was a century earlier. It's just an inspiration for her in that case. But yeah, a lot of them are based on real people at the very least. And yeah, again, very sorry. It was just an interesting bit of conversation there. But Maestro got a really perfect spacing there with the sidestep. And it was on Tao's host too, so a slight disadvantage. Really, the players, the quality of the players is really the important thing. Anyway, let's get Roderick in here. Yeah, sabers aren't Tao's thing. That's a good point. He's more of a longsword guy, so. Yeah, he was in Spain, but he wasn't in Poland, so that's the problem. Yeah, there's the wiki. I think there's a frequently asked questions on the Discord as well. Yeah, there's some. You can also look at some of Kubeld's videos. He did a reveal for Alexander, for example, where he goes through the evidence we have. We don't have a lot of evidence or we have a lot of evidence for his existence, but we don't know a lot about his life actually, unfortunately. We just know for a fact that at the time he was a starosta in Poland and was a mayor, so because the game's trying to be historically plausible, right? So and the setting is Poland, right? So Poland, Lithuania. That is a pretty wide geographic location actually, so you can still get quite a variety of cultures as a result. And also many mercenaries were in the region too, so you can get people from other parts of Europe, but across the ocean from Japan, that's kind of hard to believe, right? But the nice thing about the Asian setting is you can get Europeans in there because we know the Portuguese and the Dutch were over there. So if you want Europeans and Japanese people interacting, wait for the Asia DLC. That's where we would get it. And that's where it would make sense historically. Yeah, that's Kubal's reasoning anyway. I more or less agree with him, but I understand why people want Japanese people as well. They're very samurai are cool. I get it. Katanas are cool as well. I prefer bigger Japanese swords myself, but still. Anyway, I'm gonna focus here. My match here against Roderick. Jesus Christ. Thought I had him. Oh, damn it. His HP, man. Good play, though. Good play. You gotta use it. That's what you do with Gideon, so. Oh, man. Can't let Roderick win here. That would not be good. Well played, though, man. Well played. Jeez. Come on, double. Okay. Good stab, man. Jeez, you got me shook. Oh, man. Good round. Good round. All right, let's see. Let's see. Oh, I backed out. It's a bit premature, but oh well. 6. That means you get. I know I get to pick. My bad. I will pick the left side. It doesn't really much matter. I just have a good feeling about it, even though I lost the first time. Oh man, I gotta play so safely against you, man. And Gideon's guard is better than I expected too. That's the other thing. So I gotta be careful of that. Nicely done. Oh no. Good try. Good try. That's what you want to do. I was ready though, apparently. Oh, yeah, I covered that line there, so that cut wasn't the right cut for you there. But good fight. You really forced me to adjust and use those cancels. And I had to be very precise with them because that passive guard was blocking some of my swings, as you might have noticed. Oh man, it makes sense. It's just where he is aiming, of course, but I have to be really careful with that because if I mess up once and I'm not precise, like you just immediately counter me. So you're a very good Gideon player. GG, man. I thought I lost at one point. A glitch where both players get a point and we get a full-blown tie. I think the game automatically declares the left side the winner if that happens, but that would be funny as hell. The cancels are where, so let me explain this real quick. We're gonna take a break after this anyway. Um, let's just go standing opponent. And I'll just pick, yeah, let's just fight Yazuk for demonstration. We have time. This tourney's been going really smoothly. Um, so let me pause it here and I'll show you the move list. So I do it from the thrust combo. So if you look at his thrust combo, you can either stab once or you can stab and then cut according to the move set. And the way it's done will depend a little bit on the foot forward. But essentially, this is the regular combo here. If the right foot is back, he steps forward. If the left foot is back, he doesn't step forward quite as much. So you can do that, or you can do a stab, cancel, and then back away, for instance, and do the retreat Y cut. Let's see if I can find it here. I don't. Is retreat Y not even on the move set? That's interesting. So the retreat Y for Alexander is not even on the move set, but you can retreat and he does something like that, right? Depending on the foot forward. So you can do that, cancel the thrust into that attack. Or you can cancel the thrust and then do a sideways attack like that. There's many possibilities from there. And if you're really sharp, you can do like a bunch of combos. Sometimes you can do this and then immediately follow up with a neutral cut as well. Stuff like that. So if you're really sharp, you can cancel your thrust instead of going through with the combo. Because if you go through with the combo, you're kind of locked in. You might have noticed Alexander gets very, very flat-footed if you don't, if you just go through with the combo normally, and that can leave you vulnerable. So if you cancel, you can be a bit unpredictable and get to the side a little bit maybe, or back away, stuff like that. Yeah, but you have to cancel it, otherwise he goes through with the thrust. Yeah, you got to cancel for the stick, but yeah. Because if you just do the stab, it's like... Yeah, in fact, he did the whole thing there, but yeah. I guess you can do that as well, but yeah. It's really cool. If you cancel with the stick, you can also you can change up the timing too. You can make it so that it's a bit slower than the opponent might be expecting, and that can leave you a bit vulnerable. But yeah. Anyway, we're gonna take a break here, guys. I hope that was enlightening. Yeah, the recovery on it's the problem. It's a fast stab, but yeah, the recovery on it can be detrimental. Sometimes the normal combo is good if you want to catch someone backing away, though, so it all depends on what your opponent's doing. But anyway, I'll be right back, guys. All right, I'm back, guys. We'll just give the others some time to get back, of course. I'm sure a bunch of other people, I'm sure the other contestants here are doing their thing as well, taking a break. But, you know, while we wait, we're in the semifinals at this point. We got Rudy against Eve. Eve has a tougher opponent than he might be expecting. So this will be a good one, I'm sure. And then we got, of course, a classic. I am fighting Maestro in the semifinals. Losers in the semifinals will fight in the bronze match for third place. So do not go away if you lose. we'll do the bronze match before the finals, because the finals is, I think, best done last if you can. Anyway, Rudy's here, perfect. Eve might not be just yet, but I'll still ping him. Oh yes, Eve wanted the. Did Eve want the house host? That's fine too. Yeah, okay, they agreed on it. Nice. Nice, nice, nice. Alright, I'll just join up then. And if Eve is ready, we'll get started. Alright. And I believe, yes, Rudy is on the left. Good luck to both of you. Yeah, so Rudy made it to the semifinals. I'm sure many people did not expect that. Alright, Eve's in, perfect. Yeah, so the cancels I was talking about, yeah, as I said in the chat, you can also cancel to keep that point out, which is nice. There's some other cuts you can do too, like the X cut. Those are a bit harder to pull off though. But if I'm really sharp, I can get really fast with those. Are you left? No, you're not. You're on the right. Yeah, no problem. I understand you're not watching the stream right now, probably, so. Yes, Roderick said he doesn't trust it so much. I honestly thought when we were fighting that he was trusting it because he was moving forward a lot. It sure seemed like it. Maybe he was just lucky, in the sense that Gideon has a good enough guard that he could get away with what he was doing. But either way, like he played that really well. I think he played it exactly how you should play it too. He did some good retreat cuts. Those thrusts were good too. The reason why I was able to stop them was because I was ready for them. By now I know exactly what sorts of thrusts Gideon can throw and which stance he can throw them from because I've played against Ilks so much. Two of us are so evenly matched, always a good fight. So I have to be ready. Yeah, Rudy shouldn't need keyboard. He should be okay. Are you clicked in the parsec window? Yeah, that's a good point. It's really easy to think you don't have control. That you can resist the first blow. That makes sense, yeah. Against Alex, that might be a questionable strategy, but it worked out, I think, in that first round. So, I mean, it's tough because Alex can hit pretty hard, and as you saw, if he hits you once, he can sort of flow into other attacks in a flash, but at the same time, Gideon can hit hard, so it goes both ways, I suppose, and Gideon has the HP to back it up. Alexander, not so much, if there's a trade. It's a bit of a myth, actually. People think he has a lot of HP. He really doesn't. It's definitely not low either, though. But, yeah. I think we're still having issues. I think it's something on Rudy's end, unfortunately. Yeah, as your controller, and that's a good point. Yeah, that's true, yeah. That's when it gets really dangerous. The other cuts, it's sort of dependent on positioning, I suppose. Like when you tried that diagonal cut, I was off to the side and you couldn't quite hit me with that specific one anyway. But yeah, you did really well. Kind of ironic that I had to use more of a point-centric fighting style, at least in the initial attack to win, but yeah. I find often I have to use cuts against Gideon, so it was a bit surprising, but you did well to defend those. I could have, I guess, thrown some upward cuts in there, but I feel like that's asking to get killed against Gideon, so because they're less likely to do the maximum amount of damage. But they might also have a higher chance of hitting, so maybe it was an option. I didn't want to risk it because that's exposing my head. Okay, so Rudy on the left with Yazuk. Eve will either use Bara or Gideon. I imagine Gideon because he was getting some good performances. Eve is not in. It seems to be on Tao's host that this is happening a lot for some reason. I wonder what it is. Tao, yeah, I could not have. I don't think I pressed anything because I'm not touching the controller, so unless Tao gave me keyboard. Yeah, that could be as well. Eve knows about clicking in, so that shouldn't be it. Yeah, okay. Eve can move. Can Rudy move is the question. Oh, okay. I think that might have been Tao actually, because he was backing away. Oh, weird connection thing. Okay, so it's a timing thing. I think I've noticed that in his host. It's a weird delay thing. It's only when you're selecting though. It's not when you're playing. When you're playing, it's smooth. I don't know what's up with that, but Parsec can have any number of issues, so at least they're not catastrophic issues in this case. We're still able to play, so okay, Rudy on the left, Eve on the right. Both men looking to get into the finals. And they're taking it slow. Still waiting for an opportunity, though. You can tell there's a lot of that passive pressure going on. Good retreat cut by Eve, forcing a trade, which was not beneficial for Rudy. Eve was on fire earlier, so definitely someone to watch out for. Has more experience, too. But Rudy's been showing that he can take on experienced people. And I'd say he's handling this well so far. Just gotta watch out for that retreat cut. Okay, Rudy throwing some cuts. Gotta be very careful. Eve is waiting for that punish. I can just tell. Nice upward cut by Rudy, though. Okay, so Eve is doing some retreats again. I like what he's doing. He's trying to provoke Rudy to go in. It's kind of working. Yeah, there you go. Upward cut. I just say kind of because Rudy is still being cautious, but over time, the long game, Eve is very good at that. Getting in your head. And I think Rudy is hesitant to go in as a result. As well as his playstyle, he wants that counter strike, but Eve is just dominating for the most part. Certainly this flag. But Rudy's been on the ropes before and got at least forced a double, if not a win, so that was a good try of the cut. He didn't quite land it. And Eve is going to start harassing him with longer range moves. Now he's on the ropes again. Stab. Then he gets it. You gotta be ready for those stabs of Gideon. They're so fast. And they hit hard. It is true they were nerfed a while back. At least the not the one Eve was using, but the other one. But If you time it well in the right situation, it still seems effective. Big cut by Eve, gets punished. Nicely done by Rudy, but he does not get the kill. A cut. Perhaps a bit underused of Yazek, but that was a good option there. It gets at both of his openings regardless of the guard, I would say. Unless Gideon guards it with his auto block. And he's trying to harass with the upward cuts. It's working. Eve doing some big movements here to try and get a quick hit in, but good thrust. That was really well timed. Eve needs one more. Eve's Gideon is a big contender here. Long range cut. That was... Oh, and then a thrust. Rudy is backing away just enough. Oh, but then he gets cut in the leg. That's devastating. Now Eve can just pick him apart, but Rudy gets a hit. He's tired, and Eve capitalizes. Very well done. Yeah, these matches are going to start getting really intense as the stakes only get higher. Alright, Rudy sticking with Yazek. Okay. So Eve again with the passive pressure. Rudy is forced back. Doesn't want to engage too early. That corkscrew thrust, we haven't seen a lot of that lately. But it can be a surprisingly good move. So I like what Rudy is trying. It's just Gideon's guard is holding up better than he maybe expected, and there's a double. Upward cut trade with Gideon is probably a bit risky, but it's a reliable way to hit, so I don't blame him. He's definitely blocking a lot of those downward cuts really well, so the upward cuts are a good way to try and hit him. So I like what Rudy's trying here. Eve is defending well. Nice exchange here. Eve nearly had the better of him, but he kept his cool. Good back and forth. Nobody's been hit yet. This is the beautiful thing about Saber, when you start getting these exchanges. Good sidestep by Rudy. Again, believe it or not, nobody's been hit. Marathon exchange. Again, good defense by Rudy. Footwork. He gets stabbed. Eve doesn't follow it up, though. It's a little bit risky, to be fair, sometimes. And Eve, downward cut. That's what I mean. Eve is really good at the long game. Eve waiting for an opportunity. Rudy canceling. Nicely done with the feint. Stab by Rudy. It doesn't quite connect. It was kind of weak anyway, I think, unfortunately. You know, Rudy is down 2 flags, but I have to say, he's fighting really well. For someone of less experience. He got a hit there. He should have followed it up, I think. That feint is very deceptive. And Eve gets him with it. You often think you can block it, but it tricks the auto guard. You gotta sort of interrupt him or back away. It's a move I rarely get to work myself, but a Gideon main can just pick you apart with it. Again, precise cut to the wrist there. Eve needs one more. Rudy made him work, though. I gotta say, and Rudy can still turn this around if he plays well. Okay, he waits, and he gets the kill. That's what he needs to do. He needs to be patient. That hat just went flying. That's how powerful that cut from Rudy was. Rudy gets a cut. Eve was trying to push. He got punished for it. Eve goes for a sideways cut. Rudy tries to punish. Oh, again, that sideways cut. Very precise by Eve. Eve gets it, but Rudy, despite what the flag count might suggest, put up a really good fight. Good fight to both of you. That was a really, real joy to watch, I gotta say. Yeah, it really was an insane match. I don't think I can overstate that. You guys threw a bunch of cuts, and nobody was hit that whole time. It was insane. So Rudy's actually a force to be reckoned with Yazik, I would say. He should be very happy with how well he did. Of course, Rudy, you're not out. Remember that. You're in the bronze round. Bronze match. So you still got a chance at third place. And third place in a Saber tourney against all these people. Like, that's something to brag about, I would say. Some veterans in here, so awesome you'll be here. Good to hear. And Maestro is in. Let me just, yeah, Maestro's on the left. Yeah, I'll deal with the names real quick. Let's get started. Another banger, I imagine, is ahead at this point. Another Yazik. He's been making a lot of appearances, so it's good to see. After he got all of that criticism earlier from the community. Oh no! That was embarrassing as hell. I got impatient. Nice, Maestro. Oh dear. Wow, okay. He actually overpowered me there. Nicely done. Something about Yazik, man. He's pretty tough. As is Barbash. Make sure I spell the name properly. Yeah, Zero was giving me trouble too, so. But I don't get it. Nice, nice. Oh no. Oh my goodness, nice job. God, I couldn't do anything, man. You were playing so well. At least not at the final. I almost gave myself two. What the fuck am I doing? GG, man. Yeah, you played so well. Let's do the bronze match. I almost made a thread. Let's not do that. GG. Rooting for you, Maestro. I know you have it in you to defeat Eve. All right, let's get Rudy in here. Rudy's in North America, so that'll be the best possible situation for him. And Rudy, if you defeat me, that's a pretty damn good feat. So you should be, if you do that, you should be really happy or do well against me. In fact, you did well against Eve earlier, and you did well against Carlos. So very good tournament for you, especially since this is you haven't played very many. So yeah, looking forward to our fight. You showed some really good fight IQ. Yeah, I shouldn't have put that in competition talks, but oh well. Land solo. All right, let's get started. Rudy, you get the left. Oh dear, yeah, that cut has no power. Good fight. Alright, let's switch it up. Make me work for each of those flags I won, too. Yeah, Rudy plays in a very principled manner. I'm very impressed. He definitely understands the mechanics of the game and has really good timing. I think you usually play longsword. Maybe you should play Yazuk more often. Alright, let's see who gets the pick. I think I've made a good adjustment, but we'll see. We'll see. Rudy could very well adjust. Oh, somehow I got rid of the thing. So, I think when I was doing parsec. Okay, I clicked roll there. We got 2. That means, Rudy, you get to pick. And it's up to you guys what host you want to use, obviously. Yeah, Rudy wants the left. That's what I would pick as well. So, good luck to you, man. You've put up a fight, whatever happens here, man. Hope to see you in more tourneys. Alright. Glad you enjoyed it, man. Let's go. Yeah, this has been a great tourney. It's been kind of chill, too. Like, not over the top. The whole competitive aspect. But nonetheless, some really good sabers have participated. I think the skill ceiling has increased, I would say, lately, which is really good. That was badass. I thought it was going to be a double. God damn it, fall for my feints. Nah, it's good. You're playing well. Did I get away with that? Wow. I'm surprised, honestly. I thought you responded okay, but maybe like a sidestep Y would have been better. Yeah, the cut didn't end up having much power. Good fight. I think I just adjusted to your playstyle is what happened there, but you're really good. I mean, even forcing me to adjust proves that you're a solid player. And I like how you keep it simple too. You don't do anything too fancy. Especially at a lower level, that's what you gotta do. So, very good fight. And now we've got Eve against Maestro Cake. That is the final, and after that, the tourney will conclude. You'll take fourth. Yeah, you should, man. That's a really, really good performance. So what are we using, guys? Which host? The upcut from Bara? Yeah. Bara's upcut hits really hard. I could see that. Yeah, you had a lot of support in the chat there, Rudy. Yeah, people wanted you to win. Saber's axes more than the rest. Tao's host. That sounds good. I'll just join you, Tao. You DM'd. Okay, yeah, that's all good. Alright, I sent a request to join there already, Tao. The others are ready, of course. Might as well close the game at this point. Eve, you get the left side, by the way. I'll just let you know. I think Eve is pretty close to getting his next title. I might be wrong. Nah, he's a master. I don't. He might though. I'll take a look actually while we wait. Want to see what the stakes are. I know Maestro's already a Grandmaster, so he wants to get the Grandmaster title. Sorry, the Legend title, I should say, which is down the road, but 2 tournaments wrong. Okay, yeah. But there was the one that didn't count or something, yeah. Match weapons, sorry, yeah. I'm losing my mind. Anyway. Yeah, ignore what I said. I won't conclude the tourney, so it won't show up on the challenge count, and obviously we'll adjust as needed on the official record. Yes, you are correct, Maestro. Anyway. Nonetheless, definitely some high-level players here. Okay, Eve of Gideon, Maestro of Yazek. Very classic pick for both of them. Maestro initiates, and then Eve counters with a powerful cut there. Another really powerful cut by Eve punishes Maestro's advance. Maestro's gonna have to think of something else. He nearly got punished again. Upward cut, then a downward cut. Nicely done. Those might hit Gideon a little bit easier, actually. I find the downward cuts, he is blocking easier than I expected. Thrust, and then an upward cut by Eve. Perfect combination. I think Maestro is struggling to come up with a plan. He's sort of just hoping those swings will hit. Eve is moving very actively. That was a good hit by Maestro. He's figuring something out. Feint, good patience by Maestro. He could have been punished. Swinging into that sword, but eventually Eve gets tired and he gets the kill. Good pressure by Maestro. I'll be a bit careful with that sometimes, but in that case, it was the right thing to do. This one might be down to the last flag. This is getting quite close. Alright, Maestro throwing a bunch of swings. Eventually he gets it. Eve was just walking into him there, so he probably could have even grabbed him. Might have been a bit better than swinging into the sword and waiting for Eve to move. But when you really want that kill, you know, sometimes you end up just throwing cuts. I do that too. Grabbing is so risky too, oftentimes, so against Gideon especially, you often don't want to do that. Maestro going for an X cut, but he opened himself up in doing so. And it was a bit slow, so Eve got the first point. First win. Okay. Eve was thinking about countering, or sorry, about killing there. But I think Maestro was ready. Maestro throwing a bunch of cuts into Eve's blade. That's probably not advisable. But he really wants that hit to the head. I don't blame him. It's easy to underestimate that guard, but it's doing its job. Eve going for a thrust might have been a bit risky, but the trade probably benefits Eve in this case. Eve gets hit again by a quick cut. Very good play by Maestro. Eve backing off. He's definitely taking some damage. And his stamina too is limited. Yeah, he's tired. His hand was glitching through his body too, but he got the lunge kill. Horizontal slash. Switching feet. Doing a lot of shuffling and feinting. I like what Eve's doing. Maestro playing a bit of catch up. Good snap cut. He's trying to use Yazit's reach. But he's got to watch some of those stabs. Unfortunately for Eve, Maestro is too far. Exchange, upward cut, and then Eve follows it up. If the Gideon player is really good, he can follow up those cuts really fast. Again, Maestro thought he had an opportunity, but not quite. Yeah, exactly. Good sidestep by Maestro. Getting a slight positional advantage, and that's all you need. And then he rains down those cuts. They're both being a bit cautious now. But Eve with a really good punish. Perfect spacing. Maestro forced to back off. Upward cut. Again, that stamina. Sides. Oh my goodness, he's sidestepping. And he's limping. Maestro is tired. Eve doesn't capitalize though. It's a bit deceiving because Maestro is actually recovering from being tired quite quickly. So I think Eve is actually making the right call in not attacking, but applying a ton of pressure nonetheless. And waiting for a more safe opportunity. Because, yeah, a bunch of those times there, Maestro might have hit him. trying to force Maestro to expend that stamina too, which is quite limited after that strike that you've got. Probably because Yazzet's thrusts are kind of iffy. I think Gideon's thrusts are way more effective, so maybe it would work, but I just feel like it'd be a bit of a gamble with his HP. I think Yazet can kill reliably if it hits the face, but otherwise you're just gambling. Eve trying to find that punish. Maestro low on stamina again as he tries to play catch up. Push by Eve gets punished. He's actually been punished quite a few times with that. But he has had some success with it too, so I don't blame him for trying it. He really wants that quick kill. But against Yazzet's speed, you gotta be careful in that upward cut. Gets him. Maestro was unable to block it. Probably one of Gideon's deadliest tools too, as we saw. Okay, so I'll make Eve the winner here. And I won't end the tournament just because, you know, we don't want the win to appear on their records, so to speak, but we will have it on the server's record, of course, so it won't matter. Best of 5? No. Yeah, fair enough. Often in the finals, stuff like that happens, but nah. It's best of 3, so you win. So you earn the Saber champion title. I think it's still Saber expert. Yes, it is. That's fine. I'll give you that title. That makes your name blue. If you're cool with that, we can keep that because it's apparently above master. So, and matched weapons tier 1. Yeah, make you blue. All right. Yeah, we'll keep you bright blue then. And yeah, I'm glad you all enjoyed the tourney. Of course, I'm running a tournament on Sunday, an axe only tournament, and there's gonna be a prize for that one. $100 will be distributed among the top 3 players. We'll figure that out. Thank you to Cool for sponsoring that. That's not from my pocket. That's from Cool's. So I really, really appreciate that. Giving back to the community and whatnot. And thank you. I'm glad you enjoyed it. So keep an eye out for that Axe tourney. And other than that, I think Venator's going to be hosting next week. Yeah, all matches were fantastic. So yeah, keep an eye out for anything Venator's hosting. And I'll see you guys next time.